The summer of 1977, New York City, a vibrant metropolis, pulsing with life. Yet, beneath the surface, a dark terror spread. A killer stalked the streets. His targets? Young couples, their lives brutally cut short by the blast of a .44 caliber handgun. The city was his hunting ground. Fear became the city's unwelcome companion. Whispers of the son of Sam spread like wildfire. This wasn't just another killer, this was something more sinister, more evil. The son of Sam seemed to revel in the terror he inflicted. Each attack sent shockwaves through the city. The police were baffled. Who was this phantom? What did he want? As the body count rose, so did the panic. The city that never slept was now held captive by fear. The son of Sam had cast a long, dark shadow over New York. Hiding in plain sight was David Berkowitz, a seemingly ordinary postal worker living a quiet life in Yonkers. He was described by neighbors as quiet and unassuming. No one suspected the dark secret lurking beneath his unremarkable facade. Berkowitz was a study in contrasts. He was a loner yet craved notoriety. He was quiet yet capable of terrifying violence. He blended in, a ghost in the machinery of the city. Unknown to those around him, Berkowitz harbored a dark fantasy world. He claimed to be commanded by demons, their voices whispering instructions for his gruesome deeds. The attacks began in the summer of 1976. Donna Lauria and Jody Valenti, two young women sitting in a parked car, became the first victims. Lauria was killed instantly. Valenti survived to tell the tale. The city was shocked. Who could commit such a senseless act? The shootings continued, seemingly random and always brutal. Carl Denaro and Rosemary Keenan, also in a parked car. Sal Lupo and Judy Placido, walking home from a disco. Each attack brought fresh terror, each bullet plunging the city deeper into a nightmare. The son of Sam was playing a deadly game, toying with the city, with the police, with human life. The randomness of the attacks only amplified the terror. No one knew who would be next. Young couples, once symbols of love and hope, became targets. As if the shootings weren't terrifying enough, the killer began to taunt the police. He left letters, handwritten and rambling, at the scenes of his crimes. They were signed, Son of Sam. These chilling missives offered glimpses into the mind of a madman, a twisted world of demons and delusions. One letter, addressed to Daily News columnist Jimmy Breslin, became infamous. Hello from the gutters of NYC, which are filled with dog manure, vomit, stale wine, urine and blood, it began. The letter was filled with bizarre ramblings, threats and a chilling promise. The son of Sam would strike again. These letters weren't just taunts. They were a macabre form of communication. The son of Sam craved attention, notoriety. He wanted the world to know his name, to tremble at his deeds. The son of Sam's reign of terror plunged New York into a state of panic. The city, once a symbol of resilience and energy, was paralyzed by fear. The once vibrant nightlife dimmed as people were afraid to venture out after dark. The fear was palpable. Women cut their hair short and dyed it, hoping to avoid resembling the killer's preferred victims. Sales of guns and guard dogs skyrocketed. People were desperate for any sense of security, any way to protect themselves from the unseen menace lurking in the shadows. The police, under immense pressure to catch the killer, launched the largest manhunt in the city's history. Thousands of leads were followed, countless man-hours spent trying to unravel the mystery of the son of Sam. The NYPD found themselves in a race against time. Each shooting ratcheted up the pressure. The media scrutiny was relentless. The public demanded answers. The hunt for the son of Sam became an all-consuming obsession. Detectives worked around the clock, following every lead, every whisper. They interviewed countless witnesses, piecing together a puzzle shrouded in fear and mystery. The pressure was immense, the weight of the city's safety resting on their shoulders. The investigation took them deep into the city's underbelly, into the dark world of criminal psychology. They consulted with profilers, hoping to understand the mind of a killer who seemed to operate on a twisted logic all his own. The break in the case came from an unlikely source, a parking ticket. Witnesses reported seeing a man near the scene of the last shooting, a man who fit the description of someone who had received a parking ticket in the area that night. The police finally had a lead. The trail led them to David Berkowitz, the unassuming postal worker from Yonkers. On August 10, 1977, just 1 year after the first shooting, police surrounded Berkowitz's apartment building. As they approached his door, he reportedly uttered a chilling sentence. "Well, this is it." Inside his apartment, police found an arsenal of weapons including a .44 caliber revolver, the son of Sam's weapon of choice. They also found letters and diaries filled with Berkowitz's twisted thoughts and dark fantasies. The monster had been unmasked. Berkowitz's arrest sent a collective sigh of relief through New York. Following his arrest, Berkowitz confessed to the killings, his chilling admissions sending shockwaves through the city and beyond. But his explanation for his actions was even more disturbing than the crimes themselves. He claimed to be under the control of demonic forces, his mind a vessel for their evil commands. Berkowitz claimed that his neighbor's dog, a Labrador retriever named Harvey, was possessed by a demon named Sam. He said that Sam communicated with him, ordering him to kill. These claims, though widely dismissed as the ramblings of a madman, added another layer of horror to the already gruesome case. Psychiatrists who examined Berkowitz offered conflicting diagnoses. Some believed he suffered from paranoid schizophrenia, others diagnosed him with antisocial personality disorder. Whether his claims of demonic possession were genuine or a desperate attempt to escape responsibility, they painted a picture of a mind consumed by darkness. The son of Sam persona, he claimed, was born out of these delusions. Despite his claims of demonic possession, experts believe Berkowitz's crimes stemmed from a complex interplay of psychological factors. His childhood was troubled, marked by feelings of abandonment and inadequacy. He craved attention, recognition, and a sense of power that had eluded him in his everyday life. Berkowitz's crimes, in many ways, were a way for him to exert control over his environment, to make himself feel powerful in a world where he felt powerless. The random nature of his attacks heightened the sense of fear and uncertainty, feeding his need for control. His letters to the police and the media were another manifestation of this need for attention. By becoming the notorious son of Sam, he was able to transcend his ordinary existence and achieve the notoriety he so desperately craved. The Son of Sam case left an indelible mark on New York City. It shattered the city's sense of invincibility, proving that even in the heart of a bustling metropolis, darkness could lurk. The fear that gripped the city during that long, hot summer of 1977 lingered long after Berkowitz's arrest. The case also had a profound impact on law enforcement. It led to changes in police procedure, particularly in the way serial killer cases were investigated. The Son of Sam case highlighted the importance of criminal profiling and interagency cooperation in solving complex crimes. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of the Son of Sam case is the way it changed the way New Yorkers lived their lives. Even today, decades later, the case continues to haunt the city's collective memory. The fear may have subsided, but the scars remain. In the wake of the Son of Sam case, New York State passed the Son of Sam law in 1977, which prohibited criminals from profiting from the publication of their crimes. The law was enacted in response to concerns that Berkowitz might try to sell his story for a hefty sum, adding insult to injury for the victims' families. The Son of Sam law has been both praised and criticized. Proponents argue that it prevents criminals from profiting from their crimes and ensures that any potential earnings are directed towards the victims and their families. It has served as a model for similar laws in other states. However, critics argue that the law is overly broad and infringes on First Amendment rights. Despite the debate, the Son of Sam law remains a significant part of Berkowitz's legacy.